Hello, everyone. This is Yamil Henriquez from Purgatory Magic, and today is Monday. I believe it's, I don't know if it's the last Monday or whatever, but yeah, fine. Um, Basically, today we're gonna discuss the do's of working with the Anima Sola, or what you should be doing correctly, or what you should do in order to have a good connection with the Anima Sola. And I'm going to present some points here. And also, I'm going to allow everyone to ask questions so that if you have any doubts or any questions in regards to the topic or anything that you want to ask about, I'll be more than happy to answer. Okay? So, just a brief introduction of who I am. My name is Yamil Henriquez. I represent Purgatory Magic, a channel that is dedicated to the Anima Sola and the Animas Benditas Del Purgatorio. It's basically an English channel dedicated to the Anima Sola and Latin American folk magic as well. Okay, in this channel we discuss Espiritismo, Latin folk magic, saint magic, and of course this channel is mainly dedicated to the Anima Sola, which is my spirit of devotion and the spirit who I work with the most for myself and for everybody. Okay? So I am what people will consider me to be a brujo. I'm a healer. I'm a muertero. And I am also a medium as well. And I am a cartomancer and a diviner. I read tarot. I read the poker deck. I also read Baraja Española. All right? So that's just a little brief introduction. I've been doing this for many years. I was raised in these traditions. And just, I'm here as well learning from others. And I'm also guiding others as well who are under me, who want to learn with me, so that they can have basically my experience of how I was taught things. Okay? I'm not the holder of all the truth. I'm just giving my little bit of knowledge to everybody out here. All right? So the topic today is going to be the do's with the Anima Sola, or what you should do to build a stronger relationship with the Anima Sola. Okay? So let us begin. The first point that I wanted to talk about is prayer and light. Now, this is a very, very, very important topic. It's an important point, right? Because prayer and light is like the fundamental thing that we need to establish with the Anima Sola, with working with her. And also la Animas Benditas Del Purgatorio as well. Because the Anima Sola is a spirit that she gets a lot of benefit from prayers, from novenas, from misas, okay? And she basically, according to folk traditions like Espiritismo, that are practiced not in the traditional way, but in like Latin American ways, this spirit and these spirits benefit a lot from this, because a lot of them are released from that purgatory. So we dedicate a lot of prayers to them. This is the most important offering that you can give the animas, the Anima Sola, and the animas that you may be working with. And also prayers and also light. Now, when we hear the word light, we automatically think light like candlelight. Yes, that's very good. But there's also a different type of light. Okay? And this is a little, I guess a little trick, or whatever you want to call it. The Anima Sola gains merit or gains elevation by your characteristic as well, and how you go about things. Because what a lot of people don't know about the Anima Sola is that the Anima Sola is a very good guide. She could give you some amazing advice. Amazing advice. But when you take on that advice and you hear her out, and that advice benefits you, changes your life in a very positive way, she gains light, she gains elevation, and so do you. And this is something that we could do this with a lot of the spirits, whether you work with the Anima Sola, whether you work with Saint Michael, whether you work with San Judas Tadeo, whether you work with La Santísima Muerte, whoever you work with. It doesn't matter what level of the spiritual world or what realm in the spiritual world they're involved in or they reside. When you benefit yourself through the guidance of these spirits that have the best intentions for you, like for example in my case the Anima Sola, you elevate her, okay? She gets elevation, she gets noticeability by the higher ups that she considers the higher ups, and also her for lack of better words, her torture is lessened. Okay, so when we could light the candles, right, and we could give her light, but also that light is also is better when you follow the advice that she's giving. Okay, so like I'll give you a good example. I remember one time that I needed some advice with Anima Sola. Especially, it was about this channel, right? And it was a topic that I wanted to discuss, okay? And I think I was going about it in the wrong way. And the Anima Sola, like I'm a very technical individual. I'm a very complex person. So a lot of the times I could be very difficult when I explain certain things. But the Anima Sola told me, no, I want you to go about things in a simplistic manner. Okay, don't go too ahead of yourself. I want you to slow yourself down. Because there's people here who really need to know who I am, who we are, and how we could benefit them. Okay? So I followed her advice, and I'm not gonna lie, I've been getting a lot of positive feedback from it. But see, by me following her advice, I not only learned something about myself, but I also learned something that could benefit others, and it could benefit myself, but also benefit her. So right there, she gained light, I gained the light, and you gained light. Okay? So prayers are very important. Prayers that are like the traditional prayers in prayer books, or, you know, old school prayers in Spanish or English, but I usually pray to her in Spanish. And light, candle light. And I said this in the videos of the Don't. Always make sure that her altar is illuminated one way or another. But also the light that we want to do is also like illuminating ourselves, gaining more wisdom, more consciousness, more elevation for ourselves. Okay? So this is very important, because this is how she can benefit, and she gets connected stronger to you. Because the more that we follow the guidance, then the more connected we are to her, and she's more connected to us, and we build a great relationship. Okay? So, the next topic that I wanted to discuss, or the next point, that I wanted to discuss is offerings. In the last video, I talked about not leaving offerings on the altar for too long. You know, don't let things get spoiled. Don't let things get expired and all that good stuff, right? But here, I wanted to discuss two things. Offerings are great. Offerings are amazing, you know, but we don't want to ask for something that is on a grander scale and then give her something very small, you know, because a lot of people, I've been getting a lot of questions, and a lot of people ask me like, hey Jamil, I want the Anima Sola to help me, or one of the animas to me. I believe that the person who asked me was asking me about Juan el Minero, el Anima Sola de Juan el Minero. And Juan el Minero is really good for money, right? It's really good for finding wealth too. And they were like, I want to work with the spirit, but I want to build a connection with the spirit, but I also want the spirit to help me. I said, okay, cool, no problem. Asking the spirits to help you is good. Working the spirits for other people and doing spell work for yourself, if you're not an experienced brujo or magician or whatever, devotee, is not good. Okay? So this person, they hit me up. They paid for a plática, and I told them, hey, listen, I explained to them step by step what they should do. Okay? And I did that, and I told them, listen, if you're going to work with the Anima Sola of Juan el Minero, you have to understand that this is just not with this animas, with all the animas and all the spirits. You can't be a cheap ass, okay? You can't be a cheap ass. Because if you're asking for a job, if you're asking for a raise, if you're asking for a bigger position, or you want a good paying salary, then, don't be getting a tea light candle and putting a cup of water and say, okay, here we go. No. Really make it meaningful, because shit, I know if somebody tells me, oh, could you do this for me? And all I have is $25 to give you. I'm like, no, you better go somewhere else with that. You understand me? Because this is my time and energy, and this is their time and energy as well. So don't be a cheap ass. Don't be walking on your elbows. Don't be a tacaño. You understand? Because you get what you give. And if you're gonna do something like that, make it meaningful. Make it powerful. Make it really significant. Because if you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm using this for example, like this individual, they were like, I want to get a better job, or I want a raise in the current job that I have. And I said, then, give this spirit what they like. And I told them what the spirit likes. I gave them an idea. You got the guidance. You paid for that. I gave you the tools. I gave you everything that you need to know. I gave you the direction. Okay? And if this person decides to, be cheap with the spirits, don't expect results, because those spirits already know. They already know. And they could go two ways with it. They could either give you the favor and wait for you to F it up, or, they'll charge it to the game. It is what it is. So offerings are very good. Okay, now, the other point that I wanted to make about offerings is, don't spoil your spirits. Don't spoil them. Don't spoil them. Because with the animas and with other spirits, but with the animas we're speaking here, they could become a little bit demanding. They could become a little bit demanding. And the biggest mistake that a lot of people do when they get into these traditions, into Latin folk traditions, and they start working with saints, they start working with folk saints, they start working with these types of spirits, is that automatically you're going to get the best flowers, you're going to get the best candles, you're going to get everything like top notch and all of this stuff. I get it. But you want to make them work for it. You don't want to be giving these spirits all of this great, amazing shit and then get shit in return, or get shitted on in return. You don't want to do that, because these spirits don't mind you giving them all these offerings. But guess what? You spoiled them. And if you spoiled them, then you messed up. Okay? So the do's is, make sure that you always know how to ask these spirits in a way where it's very detailed for what you want, and then you also are detailed in the offerings that you're going to give them. Okay? So that things work better and you don't get the short end of the stick. Because people come to these spirits and they're thinking that these spirits are just these holy, magnificent beings that are like, oh, my mother, oh, madrina, oh, my beautiful queen. And they don't give a shit about that. I'm being real with you. Like, I'm very pan albino vino. I'm very pelado. I say things like that. Okay? If you want to be that person, then, hey, look, you know what? Good luck for you. Assalamu alaikum and all that good stuff for you. But guess what? That shit ain't going to work. Understand me? And that's how it is. Okay? So keep it real with yourself. All right? You don't want to be spoiling these spirits. I love my spirits. I love Anima Sola. Like, anybody who knows me knows I love her. But I don't spoil her. We have a healthy relationship. You know? And I think that you should really take that approach. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You know? And a lot of people like to come to these spirits looking for some type of parental figure, you know, because they want to project their traumas into these spirits, and that doesn't work like that, you know? These spirits are not your mother. These spirits are not your father, you know? They don't have no problem taking your offerings, but they can get lazy too, okay? So make sure that you always want to make sure that you do understand and that you make things very clear to them, and also that there is balance with that relationship. Okay, we work together. Okay, I'm not your slave. I'm not your pet. I'm not your the best devotee there is in the world, so I have to feel this overwhelming and fanatical romance that I have to do everything for you because, you know, I have to fill this empty void in my heart. No, that doesn't work like that, guys. So please, if you do give the spirits offerings, measure yourself. Measure yourself. Make sure that you're benefiting from this as well. Okay? Now, one of the most important things that I wanted to talk about this point is charity. When you're a devotee to the Anima Sola, or any anima, or the Animas del Purgatorio, charity is very, very important. Okay? And certain charities that are connected to her are very important. And as a devotee, people should know this. Okay? Because in a lot of the prayers in Spanish, I'm going to do my best to translate it into English. It talks about always doing things in her name. Okay? Because merit is very important for her as well. Okay? But I love the anima too as well, that if it wasn't for her, a lot of the things that I have, if it wasn't for her guidance and even her making the way and setting up opportunities for me, I wouldn't be where I'm at now, you know? And because she to me is like my main spirit guide. Okay? So I always make sure, and this is just a little secret, you know, like a little ingredient that you want to remember is when I do charity, I always do charity in her name. Okay? I always do charity in her name. And I'm going to share something with you because I'm not somebody who likes to hide things. You know, when I was growing up, I went through a very hard time dealing with issues growing up with child molestation and things like that. You know, I went through all that. And then, it affected my life very hard, especially me growing up, right? So I took that experience and I got help. I went to therapy, I got help. I did that for a very long time, right? But I learned how to deal with the situation and use it to help others. Okay? And I get clients every day who call me every day, right? And they really, a lot of them deal with this type of stuff, a lot, especially in the Latin communities, in the POC communities, and many other people, but predominantly POC, Latin and Black or African American. And I honestly, at one point, I didn't know how to deal with it when I was younger, but now I know how. I got the help, and I understood everything through a spiritual and and also mental as well, right? So I do a lot of charity. Like, I thank the Anima Sola all the time for guiding me through all that stuff, because it was a big chip on my shoulder. It was a big chip, and it hurt me a lot, to the point that it even made me ill, and I went through a lot. But the Anima guided me out of that. And I always thank her, because if it wasn't for her guiding me out of these situations, I don't know what I would have done, because I needed her help. I needed her guidance. So the Anima always tells me, help as much as you can. She never tells me to do it in her name, though, but I do it in her name. Because when I needed somebody the most, she was there for me. And she guided me out of it. And she took me out of that dark place. So the Anima, I always, like, I'm not big to, like, I do this for this foundation, I do this for that foundation. No, I give charity. And I always, a lot of times when I put, they say, the name of the person who's giving the charity, I always put Maria Celestina. Anima Sola Maria Celestina Abdegano. I always put her name. It was from her. And yeah, I really am thankful to her because of that. Because if it wasn't for her, then I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what would have happened with me. So I do these things, like these lives, and I do platicas, and I do readings, all because that is my mission with her. My mission is to elevate myself, but my mission is to get her out of that purgatory. And some people might not agree with me. Some people might be like, you know what, that doesn't exist. That's bullshit. That's a lie. There's no such thing as that. I don't give a crap. I don't care what you believe. That's not my problem. Take your crap somewhere else. I don't care. This is how I believe, and this is for those who want to learn from me how I go about things with the Anima Sola. So I always do charity in her name. Always do charity in her name. Because I'm passionate about getting her out of her suffering just as much as she helped me get out of mine. And that's what it is. So charity is a very important thing. If there's a charity that you guys would like to help with, charity for people who are dealing with such issues, that have gone through those situations. Charity for people who are suicidal. Charity for people who want to inflict harm on themselves. Charity for people who are going through tough addictions. Charity for people who have cancer. A good charity, not these freaking multi-million-dollar smoky mirror charities. Or just, if you don't want to donate to none of them, go visit somebody, talk to somebody who's struggling with those things, and just hear them out. That's an amazing charity. And just be an ear, and just tell them that everything's going to be okay. Charity is an amazing thing, because in one of those, and this is jumping to the next topic, the last one that I have for this is those things, she's not asking for them, but when you give them to her, she thanks you for that, and she gives it to you tenfold back, because she's very big on that loyalty. She's big on that love. She's big on that on that on that approach. And she's like I can see her right now in my visions. Like she's like this, like she's so happy that I'm mentioning it, because a lot of people don't know that about her. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, she's a spirit, she's good for amarres, which she is. She's an amazing spirit for amarres. But she's also, this is a little thing about her that people don't know. Do you know why she's an amazing spirit for amarres? Because she is compassionate. Because when people come to her with those tears in their eyes, she gets down to your level and she wants to alleviate that pain from you. So she'll do whatever it takes to make it happen. And that little essence is key and is fundamental to working with the Anima Sola or la Animas Benditas Del Purgatorio. But just as much as you could use that, it could be used against you. So be very careful. Okay? Now, the last point that I wanted to address is merit, recognition. In a prayer that is a very important prayer to the Anima Sola, there's a part of that prayer that says, I will give you the merits that I've done before, the merits that for things that have happened now, and the merits for things in the future to come. And that's a very big thing, because she is not asking for the merit, but you're going to give it to her because she's that miraculous. So if you're a person who is a grateful individual, if you're somebody who is very appreciative of things, then I would suggest that then she just got fairly close to me, so I got really thirsty now. Yeah. So give me 1 second. So merit is a very important thing. How do you go about merit? Well, you could post. You could do something like this, like I do these videos, right? Like this right here is a form of merit. This is a form of gratitude. This is a form of thankfulness that I have for her for everything that she's done for me, right? But also posting a prayer, posting a miraculous prayer of hers is a very important thing. And also sharing your stories, sharing your miracles that she's done for you, whichever one they may be. But giving her merit is a very important thing. Who doesn't like having credit given to them for something that they've done that it was so big and significant in your life? I have friends. I have my amazing family here, who I'm very grateful to them as well. And of course, I'm that guy. I'm always gonna give credit where credit is due, and I'm always gonna be very thankful for these people, and even people that in the past that I probably didn't work out either. But I thank them for all the beautiful memories that they gave me. I learned a lot from a lot of people. But also, merit and recognition and being thankful is very important. So always posting little things like, thank you, Anima Sola, for everything that you've done for me. Posting a prayer that that you found and it worked for you, and telling others, hey, listen, if you say this prayer, it could work for you too, right? Or sharing your story, sharing your miracle. All of that is awesome. The spirits love that. It doesn't matter which one, but we're talking about the Anima Sola here. So she loves that, she loves that. And yeah, she's always seeing those things, and she's like, wow, I'm always going to be here for that person, because she's a very loyal spirit. The more you show loyalty to her, the more she gives that loyalty back. just like any other spirit, like she's very big on that. So yeah, that's the last point that I wanted to address. If you have any points that you want, that I probably missed out on because I'm not perfect, that you want to, share with everybody, put it in the comments, because a lot of my followers here, they love reading the comments, and I appreciate everybody for all the comments that they put here. So if any of you have a question about the Anima Sola, or anything that you feel like you're having doubts about, or you want more clarification, and now is your time to ask, and I'll be more than happy to address them. Okay, so let's see who we have here. Okay, we have MLoves J0407. Thank you for sharing so much about yourself and why you do what you do. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate those words. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. EH56213. Blessings, brother. Hope you're doing well. I'll catch the live. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Yeah, I want to give thanks to everybody who's on this live and who's tuning in, and those who are going to catch this live later on. Many blessings to you as well. All right. So Vandenice Rowe, would you recommend have a structured routine as far as her offerings? Yes, I would. I'll give an example of what I do. Okay. I like this right here. This live is an offering that I do for her. Okay. I do have a devotional for her every day, but it's not like a physical offering. It's just like a spiritual offering. Okay. And that consists of prayers. I pray to the Anima every single day. Every single day. I light her a candle. It could be a tea light, a little stick light. It could be something like that. It could even be a birthday candle if you want to. But like I said, you get what you give, I offer her water. I offer her a candlelight, and I offer her prayers. As far as when I need something like big, grand, that I might like, it's gonna be a life-changing situation, then I bust out the big offerings. I bust out the big guns, But once in a while, just to be thankful to her, I'll give her some flowers. I'll dedicate her a misa. Those little things, because you also have to like understand that this is like a dance. This is like, you can't, it's like a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to understand that this is one of the big women in my life, like out of all the spirits that I work with. So I have to always make sure that that passion and that fire is still burning between me and her, because she's at a very humanistic level. So you don't want to be, it's like when you have a relationship with your partner, you want to make sure that partner is happy, and that the flame is still going, and that love and that romance and that passion is there, because romance doesn't really have to be something that is, sexual or the expectation of love. No, there's a romance there that is involved too, because with her, I look at her, I'm like, oh my God, she's like, for lack of better words. So yeah, I do a specific devotional for her on Mondays because it's her day, and then every day I do prayers for her. But when it comes to like big prayers, big offerings, it always is structured around something that I'm asking from her. So yeah, thank you very much for that question, Von Denise. Thank you. All right, what else do we have here? Anybody else? Anybody got questions? Okay, Brujo _Colibri from City Alchemist. Can we offer ritual fasting as a form of offering in conjunction with prayer? Yes. Thank you for addressing that. Yes, you can, because see, the thing about like fasting, so there's different ways of fasting, right? Because there's the whole concept of not eating food, right? But also there's it's also like a sacrifice as well, So you could fast something that you really are attached to or is very significant for you, because that fasting then now becomes a sacrifice as well. For example, a lot of the people in Latin folk traditions, when they would want something like in return from the spirits or want to manifest something in their lives, they would tell the spirit, hey, listen, you know what? I won't smoke any cigarettes. I won't smoke cigarettes for a month, if you make this miracle happen for me, and also I'll do this for you, right? And the spirit sees that and like, oh wow, you're willing to give up that one thing that you really look forward to for this particular petition that you're asking me from. Damn, then you must be serious. Okay, no problem. Let's do it. And that's the thing, that a lot of people don't know that. So in many ways, back in the days, a lot of our elders or a lot of our ancestors, right, they would always kind of like do a fasting to cleanse themselves, right? But also so that they can also connect better with the spirits, because fasting is very important too. When the spirit sees that, the spirit gets closer to you, because there's different types of fastings, and fastings go hand in hand with sacrifice, right? So the spirits see that. So what is your intention? What is your approach to the situation? This is the very important thing. Like, if I'm fasting to kind of like detox myself so that I could spiritually be more aligned with myself and be aligned with the spirit that I'm having this relationship with or this pathwork with, then yeah, that is one way. And then if you want like things to manifest for you, like kind of fasting from, smoking cigarettes or even smoking weed, or, eating particular types of food that might be unhealthy to us, or even something that we really enjoy, that we will stop it, And a lot of people, what they do is that they'll give it to the spirit. To see, look, I'll give up this for you, and they'll put it there for the spirit, and the spirit's like, oh wow, So there's many forms of that, and yes, fasting is a form of offering, and it's a form of sacrifice to the spirit as well. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate that, Brujo_Colibri. Let me see what else. Who else has a question? No questions. Okay. Janelle Longoria from Casa Calacas, and she has her own YouTube channel as well, which is awesome. So with all the anima, how do you know you've helped elevate them or help them out of purgatory? Do they appear to you in a different state, or do you just know? Well, that's a tricky question, because this is why you need a teacher. And once again, I always stress that out. Like, you have to trust yourself. You have to have confidence in yourself, right? So if you're an individual that you're coming into these things with this self-doubt, right? And you're afraid that you probably didn't do things right, or you're not being heard, then that's the wrong approach, You have to first address that, You have to first address that, because that fear or that thought of being afraid that things or spirits are not listening to you, or the petition that you're asking for might not manifest, is a fear that you have to address in yourself, because you have to be real with yourself and you have to be honest with yourself. If you're approaching the spirits in that type of way, then you need to do some serious analyzing of yourself, and you also need to stop lying to yourself, because a lot of people like to come to these things and they're like, oh yeah, the spirits, they're listening to me this, but then when you see them asking the spirits, they're a nervous wreck, and you can't approach spirits with fear or being afraid. You have to have faith. Now, if I know as a person who I'm coming to the Anima Sola, and I know that she's miraculous, I know that she's going to get shit done, I know that things are going to happen, then boom, I already know it's done. It's a done deal. You understand me? It's a done deal. Okay? Now, with that courage, you're going from a state of fear to now you're becoming you're saying, you know what, fuck it, I'm not gonna be scared anymore. I'm done. This is it. You develop that courage, right? So now you got that courage because you're going to stick to your guns. You're going to stick to your prayers. You're going to stick to that. And you know that she's going to come through for you, right? You're elevating as well. And she's going to tell you, like, if you have to like listen and trust yourself. This is why I stress all the time, please get yourself a teacher. Okay. When you do that and your teacher's guiding you and they're giving you pointers because they've been there, then with that, and you're listening to the anima that you're working with, and that anima is telling you, don't worry about it, I got it. And you're going through this, you're going from that state of fear to being courageous. And that miracle happens. Now we develop confidence because now we know that this spirit is truthful and this spirit is going to help us. So not only have you elevated yourself, but you've elevated her, because there's like, let's say like you asked the question, like, how do you know if you've helped them out of purgatory, right? It's by you getting yourself out of your own purgatory. That's how you've elevated them. By you knowing that this spirit is somebody who you can trust in, that this spirit is going to help alleviate that torture and that suffering within you, you've elevated them. This works in conjunction. This is like a tag team. We're working together. So it's something that if you yourself you feel good about yourself, and you know that this spirit has elevated because this spirit helped you, then you've elevated that spirit and you've elevated yourself. How you elevate yourself is how you elevate the spirit as well. But if you're going backwards and you're using fear and you're hoping that things work out, then you're not doing anything. You're actually in that same level, and you're going to be in that state of purgatory, in that state of suffering. Okay? Because purgatory is to purge. But you have to purge the problem, which is the fear. Once you start purging, you start gaining courage, right? You start becoming fearless. And then from there, you develop into confidence that you know that you're going to be fine, that you're going to get out of this no matter how bad the storm is. And that's how you elevate them and you elevate yourself, okay? Because remember that in Espiritismo, or in these forms of Latin folk traditions, we're still dealing with the spirit that is here, that is going through this experience, right? And this spirit is in this world, in this existence, and it has to learn how to get itself out of that, so-called, if you want to call it that matrix, I'm saying, seeing things in a different manner, So how you elevate them is how you elevate yourself. And how do you feel about yourself? If you feel good about yourself, if you feel like every time that you have this confidence in this spirit, then you know that this situation is gonna get resolved. Okay, I hope that answered your question, Janelle. I think I said Jamil and Janelle. That's my beautiful sister right there, Janelle Longoria. Okay, who else? Okay. How do you find a quality teacher? By M. Loves J 0407. Well, you have to develop a friendship, You can't just be like, hey, could you be my teacher? No, it doesn't work like that. You have to see if this person is aligned with your character, if this person is a person of morals, if this person is, are you cool with this person's way of being? It's like getting to know anybody. Don't go to a teacher looking for a parent. Go to a teacher and get to know this individual. See who they are. See how they like. See if they're people that isn't aligned with your morality, with your expectations. Because if not, then you're going to like basically set yourself up for disappointment. So yeah, just get to know people. Just really sit down and like get to know an individual, Book a reading with them. See how they read. See how they express themselves. See if they're patient, see if the way that they teach it resonates with you. Okay. So Van Denise asked Do you think it's necessary to have a formal way of calling her before you begin your daily prayers? Does it matter? It really, it doesn't, but I have a particular way of doing things with her, and I explained that in other videos where I've given like the structure of how I do things. If people want to do that, then that's fine. I could say it again, there's no issue. So the first thing that I do is I always do I always cross myself en el nombre del Padre, del Hijo, del Espíritu Santo, en nombre del Anima Sola, right? Because a lot of people just go en el nombre del Padre, del Hijo, del Espíritu Santo. Amen. No. En el nombre del Padre, en el nombre del Hijo, en el nombre del Espíritu Santo, and the name of the spirit of your devotion, because it completes the four corners, the four costados. Okay? Amen. You already opened the door for this spirit to come and reside in your heart. I don't do the whole from left to right. I do from right to left. Okay? Because I'm going to my heart. A lot of traditional Catholicism goes from left to right. I go from right to left. Okay? So that's me, though. That's how I do things. It works for me. And then I do an Our Father, I do a Hail Mary, and I do a Glory to the Father. And when I do the Glory to the Father, I say Glory to the Father, to the Son, to the Holy Spirit, and to the Spirit of the saint of my devotion. I don't say it in English, but you get my point. All right? And then I do an invocation to the amparo, or the spirit that is going to basically serve as a shield and a protection to the next spirit that we're calling. So in my case, let's say I'll call La Virgen del Carmen, who is considered the Queen of Purgatory. I'll call her, and then boom, I call the Anima Sola. I do the prayers, and then I say my own words of gratitude and things and what I want and what I expect, and then I end it with Our Father, Hail Mary, Glory to the Father, and that's it. And that's how I do it. So I guess that's it with the questions. All right. So I think I've answered enough questions. Okay. So I want to basically let everybody know that I'm doing end of the year readings, and a lot of people have been hitting me up. I've been putting out that those posts on Instagram and Facebook. So yeah, I'm still available for end of the year readings. A lot of people have been booking. So like I said, I'll make time for anybody who needs end of the year readings. So you could contact me through Instagram Messenger or Facebook Messenger. And I'll put the link in the description below this video so that you could click and you could go to my calendar and you could book yourself a reading so that you know what to expect from this year, how to take control of it and have good results, so that's what it's all about, is results, right? We want to make sure that we have great results and that this year is going to be a good year for us, and that it's going to go smooth, and then we're aware of certain things that we need to address and that we handle it. Okay. So I also wanted to give some shout outs as well. I want to give shout outs to City Alchemist. If you are in the Austin area, please come check us out in City Alchemist. I do readings there as well, face to face. You could also check out cityalchemist.co or cityalchemist.com. You could order anything that we have in the store online, what's there. And also check out Alexis Arredondo's Santa Muerte class as well. That class is amazing. I've taken that class and I've learned a lot from that class as well. I think he's going to be doing, I think him and Eric are going to be doing a school de magia and folk magic. So go to cityalchemist.com or cityalchemist.co. Also check out their page on Instagram, City Alchemist as well, at City Alchemist. This is an amazing page as well. If you have any questions, you could hit up Eric, who's one of the owners of City Alchemist, at Brujo_Colibri, and at in Instagram, and ask him any questions. Or you could also hit up Alexis Arredondo at Journey to Mictlan, I think it is, and hit them up. Amazing people. I love them. They're my teachers, and I learn from them, and they learn from me. Okay. Also I want you to, if you can, if you want to learn more about the Santísima Muerte, and other forms of Latin folk magic, you can hit up Janelle Longoria as well. She has an amazing channel, Janelle Longoria. She does amazing videos, and she's also been a very good inspiration for me to do these videos and share my knowledge with others as well. And you can also hit up her store, Casa Calaca. She has amazing products there from Mexico as well. Also, you can hit up Vonda Devotee. Vonda Devotee. She has an amazing YouTube channel as well, and she documents her experiences, as somebody who has like that approach of wanting to start to work with the Santísima Muerte as well. She has a really good approach, and she's also somebody who is really good at like basically walking people through certain things when it comes to the devotion of the Santa Muerte, and also forms of Latin folk magic as well. And if you want to book a reading with her, she's available for that as well. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Alex DeJin and he has a store as well at an Etsy that is called Artes Oscuras. It's an amazing store. He's an amazing brujo. He's a Ciprianero as well. He's an amazing person, and I really love his stuff. I've had conversations with him, and I'm like, whoa, this guy is legit. So yeah, he's a really cool dude. If you guys ever have a chance, check his store out. He's a really cool dude as well. Let me see. Oh yeah, I wanted to also give a shout out to Daphne La Hechicera as well. She has shown me a lot of love, and she's also supported this channel as well. So I want to, if you guys ever have a chance, go check out her Instagram page as well, Daphne La Hechicera. She's really cool people, and she's supported this channel as well, and she's also in the comments, and she's always like giving people info as well. So yeah, she's a really cool person. If you have a chance, check her out. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I hope that everybody enjoyed this live. I really hope that everybody got a lot from it, got a lot of info. And if you have any questions, like I said, you can hit me up on my Instagram and hit me up on my Facebook Messenger. And if I don't answer you, don't get upset. It's just that I have a lot of people hitting me up. And I have to give priority to the people who are paying me for my time. They want to book readings, but they also want to book pláticas for me to guide them through the Anima Sola devotion as well. So I have to make them a priority, So if I will get to you as soon as I can, but don't get upset, because I get a lot of people hit me up on my DMs, and they're like, oh, you're trying to ignore me, and yada, yada, yada. Okay, listen, whatever. You need to go take care of your emotions somewhere else with that, okay? The Brujita wrote, I'm gonna put my calendar link here so you could book that, okay? But also you could go through my post as well. I always put my link there in the description or below in the little box. So thank you, everybody. I hope everybody has a blessed happy holidays, happy New Year's. And if I'm sorry, I didn't say anything, but yeah, happy belated Christmas and all that good stuff. And happy Three Kings Days for all of those people who celebrate the Three Kings. Happy Three Kings Days as well, just in case if, I don't know, because I'm not really up to beat with calendars. I just do things on Mondays, but happy Three Kings Days. It's a very big tradition within Latin America. That's our Christmas. So yeah, that's a time where we also pray to the animas as well, because they get elevated from purgatory on the Dia de los Reyes Magos, or the Three Kings Day, which is a very important day for Latin Americans. So I love you all. Many blessings, and have a beautiful and blessed and prosperous week. Okay, bye.